Hey guys. So that was a little crazy, but don't worry about it. Y'all, it's been a while, but I wanted to do a reading because I kept picking up on certain information. And I normally don't do these on this channel. Because I have another channel that I specifically wanted to do readings like these on my other channel. But I've been seeing a lot of people, it's a lot of misinformation about the Nolan Wells case. And for me, I don't want to do the location unless it comes out, or speak on the location unless it comes out. The only thing I'm going to say about that is I kept seeing a gray shed, like a shed or a shack. It's like gray wooded. It's a gray wooded shed or shack. But I wanted to tap into the feelings of each individual pertaining to Nolan Wells and the case. So, like how each of them feels about Nolan and how Nolan feels about them. So that we can get a clear kind of understanding. Now, I did one of these about a week ago, and I was just doing it for myself just to know how they felt. So when I did do the reading, and I pulled on Warren's energy, his energy was a little indifferent towards Nolan Wells passing. Like, I'm not saying he did or he didn't. Now, this is only for entertainment purposes only. Okay? But I'm not saying who did what. I'm just going to put the reading out there. But again, like when I initially did it, he felt indifferent about it. I think because Nolan was like the star or the life of the party, as some people would say, or the star of the show. And the energy that I got from him, it's like a love and hate. Like the same thing that he admired about Nolan was the same thing he kind of disliked. Okay, but when I kept channeling Warren, I don't know why I had the other boy's face or image in my head. I think, let me see if I can look it up. Because it could be, that's who I was. I'm going to tell y'all his name in just a second. Excuse me. Let me look on my other phone. I kept saying, it's crazy, y'all, because I was trying to type Warren's friends, but I put Warren's face. So, hold on. Warren, I can't remember his last name. I think it's Wyatt, who I was thinking about. When I asked about Nolan, I saw Wyatt's face. So Wyatt could be the mastermind behind things, and I'm only saying allegedly, okay? I just need to see his face. So, and that's not even Wyatt. So y'all see, I don't know if y'all can see that. Hold on. Y'all see, when I kept asking about Warren, I kept seeing his face. And his name is, hold on, That's Wyatt Warren. Eric. That's Eric. Okay? So, when I kept asking about how did Warren feel, I kept seeing Eric's face. So, that either lets me, that lets me know that both of them kind of are in cahoots with, and this is allegedly, with how they feel or what transpired, whatever transpired with Nolan's unaliving. Because I am going to say this. And I have to be careful because I am not trying to get sued. But I believe something treacherous happened to that young boy. And I don't believe it was accidental. I'm going to just put it like that. So, instead of doing Warren's right now, let's tap into Eric. How did Eric feel about Nolan? Divine Holy Spirit, I'm calling on you, asking you for clear, precise, and accurate messages. May these messages help for clarity, understanding about the situation with Nolan Wells passing. I don't know why I keep saying Nolan Wells. It's something about the water. It's something. It may be. Hold on, y'all. I kept saying Nolan's Wells, and his name is Nolan Wells. So check this out. So I Googled Wells water. Well water is an underground water pumped from aquifers, right? Those little things that they used back in the day where you use this, it's like a handle and you pump it. It's like in the middle of, the grass, whatever, like that. And you pump it, and that's how people get their water. Why is that significant? Well, let's see. I'm going to tell y'all why. Wells Water Will Drilling and Repair is a certified local contractor based in Foxworth, Mississippi that provides 24/7 residential, commercial, and agriculture water well services. Why is that significant? Because it's in Mississippi. Also, I heard the word James. So, it's called James Wells Water Well Drilling and Repairing. Okay? Listen, I'll tap into it more. Divine Holy Spirit. What is the relationship between Eric and Nolan Wells? Eric and Nolan Wells. Trickster in reverse. Somebody show their true colors. Let me make sure. Hold on. Look, the deck is upside down. Somebody show their true colors. Caregiver. Dancer. Somebody's dancing on thin ice. Somebody's on thin ice. Okay? When I get the dancer card, somebody is making moves. Okay? Libra energy. Somebody's making moves to blind someone from about the truth. Okay? Or acting like they don't know what happened when they could have been a part of it. Caregiver. Trickster. Okay? how does Capricorn energy, okay, I don't know who's the Capricorn in this situation, or if they just possess a certain trait about them that is very toxic, demonizing, okay? Somebody's wearing guilt on their shoulders about this situation. Like I said, everybody's going to have a certain part to play in it. I'm going to say that. And so right now we're discussing how Eric feels about Nolan, okay? Intuitive. So there was some type of, whether this is whether this is how Nolan feels about Eric or how Eric feels about Nolan. Again, rest in peace to the young man. His soul and spirit will forever be alive, even though his body isn't, okay? So when I get the word intuitive, it's kind of like Nolan is replaying everything in the soul and spirit, in the spiritual realm with his soul. He's starting to understand what's going on, period, okay? At one point, and this is why I try not to do these readings, because when things like that start to happen in the beginning, the spirit, for me, my understanding is the spirit is not, the spirit of the individual who's unalived or who's passed away is not settled into what's really going on. They don't know until they really, you know what I'm saying, replay and get everything replayed to them in the spiritual realm. What went wrong, okay? It's like he's not at ease, but he's starting to understand fully about what's going on in the spiritual realm. And he's seeing people for who they are, okay? I want to say as far as certain things happening in their household, hot nerd, okay? I feel like this is Nolan's energy. I also feel like on the outside looking in, he may just be like an ordinary person, but on the inside, Nolan was very, I heard, very comical. Besides loving, he was very comical. Like, he had a sense of humor that made everybody laugh, okay? I don't know if I'm hearing pocket or locket. Pocket or locket. So it could have, been, it could be something that was in his pocket. It's something about, okay, slow down. There's something in his pocket. There was something in his pocket. Of course, people saw him with swimming trunks on. But if I'm not mistaken, he was washed up on the shore, fully clothed. Now, were there pockets in his swimming trunks? Because I know sometimes they make those. And if it's not him, then it's the other person. It was something in their pocket, or they put in their pocket. And I keep hearing safe, so I don't know if they're being safe or if it is actually a safe that they put something in. Or the whole situation, of course, is being manipulated to not tell the truth or to not come out with the truth. You got past life and vampire. I feel like it is a building, like a gray wooden shack. I feel like with this past life and vampire, I feel like people are starting to realize, of course, how history repeats itself, and it's draining because I don't know if he understands like this is a replica of something else, or he's seeing what he could have done better, or how people took advantage of him, or it's getting like drainage or life force, something. Oh Lord, did y'all see that? They done knocked the whole cards out my hand. Ooh, that Leo card keep coming out, y'all. I'm telling you. Hold on. All right, y'all. The cards literally fell out of my hand like somebody just said, pop. For real. Let's get one more card. How does Nolan feel about Eric? One card only, please and thank you. How does Nolan feel about Eric? Divine Holy Spirit, please and thank you. Sneaky. He feels that Eric is sneaky. He hides behind a facade. Because you have the Shadow King that came out. He holds secrets. He could be that Capricorn energy, okay? Let's dive in a little bit more before we move on to the next person. Divine Holy Spirit, how does Nolan Wells feel about Eric besides Shadow King energy? Achiever. He feels like whatever he was trying to do, he did it. Was it to win a girl over? I don't know. Because you got femme fatale and achiever. Was it to hide what was going on? Was it to cause a distraction? Did he feel like the woman, which is what, Katie or Ava? Did he feel like that they helped him achieve what he needed to achieve? Was he determined with that addict card? Was he determined for this to happen? Star-crossed. Was Eric the one liking Katie? I mean, she's a beautiful young girl, but let's just keep it real. You know. If you know, you know. Okay? If you know, you know. What else? How does he feel about Eric? High roller. Okay. When I get that high roller card, I'm thinking for some of y'all who are 80s babies. If you're in the hip hop, right? Hip hop, R&B, thinking of that era. 80s babies, if you like that. Casey and JoJo, you know, Casey and JoJo, they was getting money, they was getting ladies. Who can I think about? The money, the cars, the flashiness, right? The stunting. Who else? If you like rock and roll, who's in the rock and roll genre that was like that? I mean, you kind of got, okay, when you think of flashy, because he could kind of pass for rock and roll and R&B and whatever, but Prince, you know, he was very flamboyant, okay? Not saying it in a negative way, because I love me some Prince. But when it comes to like high fashion, clothes, really coming out and just trying to, I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. Money, cars, clothes, whatever. Y'all remember when the Hot Boys with Wayne and Juvie and all them. Like, when you think of that song, Hot Boys, and you think of that video, go back and watch that video. They talk about money, cars, clothes, women, jewelry, stuff like that. Really flashy, okay? Showing off, like just stunting, okay? That's what he feels about Eric. And I also heard all talk, no bark. So I don't know what that means, okay? What else does Nolan Wells feel about Eric? Sagittarius energy. He sometimes thinks before he acts. Very jumpy, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Nolan feels, this is allegedly, but what I'm picking up on is Nolan feels that Eric is, you ever know somebody that tries to be the, what's the word called, or the phrase, butt of the show, right? Like, if somebody is in the spotlight, then they want to come back and they want to come around and try to steal the spotlight. Like, just trying to take the shine and the credit, and I know that's very off-putting, but this is the energy that I pick up on with this Sagittarius energy. He's very vengeful. Eric is very vengeful. So if you hurt him or say something to him or do something to him to embarrass him by him being a high roller, okay, then he's like that vengeful energy. Okay, he's gonna make you feel it. He's gonna say it, and he's gonna do it. Yeah. All right. Which, like I said, I don't feel like Nolan Wells unaliving was an accident at all. Okay? And you can take that as you may. How does Eric feel about Nolan Wells? How does Eric feel about Nolan Wells? Mystic, Earth. It's like he evaporated. He's gone from the earth. Right? Gypsy soul. Earth sign. Mystic. Whatever happened or whatever transpired, I don't want to say that. Rephrase that. It's like he just vanished, right? Well, we know that. He wanted to make him vanish or disappear or just he also wants this whole situation to go away, is what I heard. And I'm not talking about Warren, I'm talking about Eric. Yeah, CEO. He wants this whole situation to go away. He could be the one making moves. He could be the one, you know. However, he does look at Nolan as, or looked at Nolan as a boss figure, like somebody who got their shit together, very disciplined, very determined, very headstrong, okay? Like Nolan was about his business. Like he knew what he was doing. Everything Nolan did was intentional when it comes to his career, when it comes to his life. But then you have the Lilith. But it was something about Nolan that he was trying to figure out. What was that? How did he achieve certain things? Why was he not seeing the truth or wanted to blind him from the truth? What is the truth? blind him from a certain situation or thought or where he was going. Ooh. Let's see. Communicator, Maiden, and Taurus energy in reverse. It was something harsh that was said to him. It was something harsh said to him. And I'm going to be honest. Even though we're all trying to get the truth, with this Sage and Libra energy here, okay, there could have been a woman, I don't know which one, I'm going to say allegedly, that lured him somewhere. And I don't know if it's because they wanted... Okay, so two things. One, I feel like there is a girl, woman, whatever, lured him to a certain place. And it was off the strength of somebody else. You have Communicator, Maiden, and Taurus in reverse, which lets me know that whatever took place or transpired during that time of his unaliving or before his unaliving, they worked hard. They worked hard to strip him of his sanity, his dignity, this is upsetting me. There's an older woman involved. Crone energy. Leo energy. Crone and with Leo energy. There's a Leo involved. A mother figure. Capricorn energy keep coming out. Could be his mother. Could be his friend's mother. It could be with the Maiden card and the Communicator that, of course, they trying to twist the truth. Downplay the situation. With the Lilith card, it's definitely something they're hiding. Okay. But for some reason, I'm being called to figure out deeper on that. This will be a part 1. I'll do others for part 2, part 3, and whatnot, okay? This card kept coming out. Look at that. Somebody was bribing, making an offer to disclose the information about somebody's death. Bottom of the card. 4 of Swords. If you know, you know. Okay? But let's dig deeper. Y'all, when I'm venturing off and my eyes are venturing off, I'm hearing things and I'm seeing things. I'm channeling as well. So, whoever the firefighter is, that's somebody's parent. So whoever that firefighter is, you got the firefighter and you got the parents of all the kids, because I'm going to call them kids, they 18, 19. The kids, they're all linking up, and somebody asked for a favor. I heard once a week. So I don't know if these parents are meeting once a week. I don't know if they're communicating once a week, or how they're trying to get their story together. But I see a lot of them fumbling, and there's a lot of arguments going on. Like, it's like they're trying to stick together because all of them have a prominent place or of employment or something like that. But I'm seeing like frustration. That's what I'm seeing. Yeah. 7 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. 7 parents. Each of them have a role in this situation when it comes to evidence. Okay? Ooh, look at that. The World card. It's a Leo energy. It's a Leo energy. If you look at this card and I just noticed this out of all these years I've had this card. When you look at this card, you see this it's kind of like a sword or a dagger. It's headed straight for this Leo energy. It's something about this Leo energy. So who is this Leo energy? Is this Leo energy Eric's mom, or is it Warren's mom? 3 of Swords. Or is that Nolan's mom? Page of Pentacles in the upright with Ace of Cups in reverse. Here's the kicker. Okay, it's a couple of things. One, if you're thinking about, or if we're talking about Nolan's mom, of course she's heartbroken. And she knows with this Page of Pentacles that something is not right. It's a little detail that she hasn't disclosed, and only her and the attorneys know. That's why with this Ace of Cups, whoever's coming to her that has something to do with it, and if you run across this video, you know what I'm talking about. Your sincerity about Nolan Wells passing is already evident. She already knows, like, that you're hiding something, okay? But if we're talking about one of the parents, and if we're saying they're involved, allegedly, then there's some type of evidence that's gonna come out. One little piece of evidence, and that involves a King of Pentacles. Who that King of Pentacles? Earth sign. They could have Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn in their Mars, in their Mercury, their sun sign, or their moon sign. Okay? Could be Eric. But like I said, at this point, all of them allegedly, because I don't want to get sued, allegedly, all of them are in cahoots with each other. Allegedly, all of their parents meet up once a week, allegedly, and they don't do it over the phone. They meet up once a week to discuss how they're going to keep moving forward with the information and the lack of that the detectives and the attorneys and stuff are trying to do when it deals with this case, or trying to get when when it involves the case. That Three of Swords and that Page of Pentacles also signifies the throat that was missing. And the certain organ. Because you see how it was cut open, correct? It was something that was destroyed to prevent them from getting. They're not going to get that. I'm going to tell you now. I feel in my heart that they are not going to get the organs that we're currently talking about. The throat and the thyroid and all that. They're not going to get that. Okay? Because that's the key to the evidence. Well, I feel like they're not. But let's see. Are the detectives going to get the missing organs from Mississippi in Nolan Wells' case, Divine Holy Spirit? And I heard a big no. But let's see what the cards say. Are they, Divine Holy Spirit? Look at that. Star card in reverse. No. Where are the organs now? Where are Nolan Wells' organs now? Divine Holy Spirit, please and thank you. That could help this case. Burned is what I heard. Judgment in reverse. I feel like it's discarded. I don't know if they burned it. I don't know if they burned it or they transported it elsewhere. Look at that. They're going to say they can't find it. That's what they're going to say. It's mislabeled. They can't find it when they really got rid of it, burned it, or something. Yeah. Four of Swords. It's when it comes to that Nolan Wells organs for them, for DC to actually get those organs that were missing, they're not going to get them. They were either transported elsewhere. No. DC is going to try to go to Mississippi and collect them to transport it back. But somebody's going to say they can't find them. And I keep hearing the word burn. So I don't know if they burned his organs. But it's somebody, this Emperor energy. Let's see. Who this Emperor energy? Who this? I keep hearing mastermind, but okay. I could be wrong. It's Emperor energy, Four of Pentacles, Nine of Cups in reverse. That could be Ben Crump or another detective feeling defeated, frustrated. Yeah. But you know who did that? There's a judge here. There's a judge. Of course, it could be a civil case for the what they call it? Not misinterpretation, but the missing evidence. That's probably going to be the most that's going to happen because they're not going to talk. I'm going to be honest with y'all. What else? Yeah. It's too much. It's too much behind the scenes. It's too much fiddling. It's too much tampering. That's tampering with evidence. Okay? But that medical examiner, yeah, she'll be unemployed because it's too much heat on them. What else? Who this? What's going to happen to this medical examiner, Divine Holy Spirit, of the Nolan Wells case? Karma. That's karma. Okay. This like represents the Divine Holy Spirit in his deck. That's like karma. Okay. Yeah. karma will deal with her, but for now on, with that Six of Swords, I was going to say Ace of Swords or 8. The truth about her is coming out, period. But they're gonna let her go. She's not gonna be able to work there anymore. She's gonna take her ass somewhere else where she feel like she can, make some money or whatever the case may be. But she's gonna have a hard time. She's gonna be let go freely, okay? Which is sad. Okay, you got the Six of Pentacles with the Two of Wands. She's going to be looking for new offers. They're going to tell her go. I will say, though, that the attorneys and everything might talk to her in regards to that to get her to see if she's going to tell the truth or... Yeah. But then you have the King of Swords. Yeah, I just said somebody's going to talk to her. Five of Pentacles in reverse. I don't think it's going to work, though. She's going to want to not talk about it. Leave it all behind. Yeah, the secrecy. The letters B and J are significant. Okay? Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords and Six of Cups. I am going to say... I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to say if you run across this video, and you know who I'm talking about, that's going out getting information and talking to people, that one person, even though there's many, but I'm talking about this one person, if they come across this video and you hear me, just know, be careful, okay? Because people will do and say anything to stop you from knowing the truth. Hangman on the bottom of the deck. Oh, boy. Alright. So this is part 1. I will come back for part 2. And we're going to discuss the relationship between... Now, this was the relationship between Nolan and Eric. But we're going to discuss the relationship, because there's a lot of third-party situations in this reading pertaining to Warren and his mom. So, we're going to do a part 2 with how Warren feels about Nolan and how Nolan feels about Warren and get more information, okay? I love you guys. Peace.